Hello, my name is Clarissa, and today I will be talking about the Zoetrope project. So the function of this circuit is to initialize a DC motor with an H-bridge motor drive, which allows the motor to change directions. A potentiometer is utilized to change the speed of the motor. To start off, the components of this circuit include two push buttons, one potentiometer, two 10 kiloohm resistors, one 9-volt battery, one H-bridge motor driver, one DC motor, and of course one Arduino Uno. Right here is the H-drive motor driver, and the pins being used will be pin 1, which enables input, output 1 and 2, the grounds of pin 4 and 5, the VCC2, which is connected to the 9-volt battery, and VCC1, which is connected to the Arduino Uno. And the input 1 is connected to pin 3, and the output 1 is connected to the motor on the negative side. Output 2 is connected to the motor on the positive side, and input 2 is connected to pin 2 on the Arduino Uno. Now for the code, we start off with the H-bridge control. And so as I said before, the input 2 of H-bridge is connected to pin 2, input 1 of H-bridge is connected to pin 3, and this enable pin enables input and outputs of 1 and 2 of the H-bridge. And here we have the button pins. This direction switch state pin is on pin 4. The on-off switch state pin, which is the one on the left, turns the motor on and off, and that's connected to pin 5. And the potentiometer pin is connected through this purple wire connected to the analog 0. And so when the code starts, the buttons will be in off mode, just to make sure no previous codes interfere. So it always starts off equaling 0. And the motor is also starting off being off, and the motor direction will begin counterclockwise. And for the setup, again, the direction switch state pin is this second button, it's pin 4. The on-off button is pin 5, connected to pin 5. And then these are inputs 2 and 1 for the H-bridge. And then, of course, the enable pin for the H-bridge enables input and outputs 1 and 2 for the H-bridge. And this enable pin turns the motor off. Well, it's initially off. And now for the loop. It is initially off, so the on-off switch will be off, and there's a small delay. The direction switch state will initially be off, and this is the motor speed connected to the potentiometer. And if the on-off button is not the previous state, then we go into this nested if statement, that if the on-off button is clicked, then the exclamation point inverts the Boolean value. And now for the direction, so this turns the motor on and off. And for this next part, so if the direction button is not the previous state, then clicking the button will change the direction of the motor. And here we have if motor direction is equal to 1, the motor direction is counterclockwise. And if it's not equal to 1, then it will be running clockwise. And these refer to the negative and positive pins for the motor, which allows it to go clockwise or counterclockwise. And if the motor enabled is equal to 1, then the motor is on, and it'll show the speed with the PWM. And otherwise, the motor is off, then it'll be a 0. And we end this void setup with reinitializing the variables. And now here's a demo of the circuit running. We're starting the simulation, and you can see right here it says 0, and so that means everything's off. I can even move this around and it'll be off. And so now we turn on the motor, and you can see it displaying the speed. And this button, the second button here, changes the direction of the motor, meaning these are being switched. And so now it's negative speed, negative velocity, and then the potentiometer. And then we can switch it, and it can be 0, and you can turn it off, back on, and turn it off. And then even though it's right here in the middle, the potentiometer, you can start it and it'll still be 0, and it's 0 until you press the button to start it. And then switch directions and turn it off. And thank you.